Life will give you reasons to quit. Every single day. And the worst part? They'll sound completely valid. Tiredness, stress, no time, emotional pressure, no support, no results, all wrapped in logic, all dressed up as smart arguments. But, deep down, they're just fear in disguise. Fear of moving forward without seeing progress. Fear of giving your all and being ignored. Fear of trying again and failing again. But here's what you need to understand. Quitting for a valid reason is still quitting. And the world doesn't care whether you stopped because of logic or weakness. It only separates those who stayed from those who disappeared. If you keep waiting for a day without pain, without doubt, without exhaustion, you'll quit every single time, because the process doesn't get easier. You get stronger, and that strength doesn't come from magic. It comes from a decision to keep going, even when everything tells you to stop. You keep saying you need more motivation, more energy, more willpower, but the truth is, you don't need any of that. You just need to follow through on what you promised yourself, because the real difference between an average man and an unshakable one isn't inspiration, it's commitment to his own word. If what you do depends on how you feel, you still don't understand what discipline is. You're still a slave to your emotions, and as long as that's true, every bad day will be a reason to stop, and those days will come, often and heavy. The man who builds isn't the one who feels like it. It's the one who shows up, even when he feels nothing. It's the one who looks at his commitment and says, "This matters more than how tired I am today." If your routine still depends on motivation, you're way too vulnerable to build anything that lasts. Because the world will test you. It will knock you down, and the only thing that will keep you standing is your decision not to break your own word. Every time you accept an excuse, you're training your mind to quit. You think it's just today, just this tough moment, just this one setback. But what feels like a one-time thing becomes a pattern, becomes a habit, and worse, becomes identity. Without noticing, you start becoming the kind of man who always finds a reason to stop, who starts strong but never finishes, who talks big but backs down when it's time to act. And over time, that kills your self-confidence. Because you stop trusting your own word, your mind learns it can talk you out of anything uncomfortable. That all it takes is a little pain, a little pressure, a little frustration, and you'll quit. From that point on, it's no longer the world stopping you. It's you. What was supposed to be a break becomes quitting. What was supposed to be rest becomes escape. And in the end, it's not the pain that breaks you. It's how normal you've made it feel to give up. Because the truth is, stopping is exactly what's keeping you stuck. That voice inside you saying stop isn't trying to protect you. It's trying to keep you comfortable. And comfort, at this stage, is your worst enemy, because your mind has been trained to believe discomfort is danger. That pain means you should pull back. That tiredness is a valid excuse to quit. So it starts throwing sophisticated arguments at you. You need to rest. You've done enough. You have to respect your limits. And yes, sometimes that's true. But most of the time, it's self-sabotage dressed up as self-care. It's your mind trying to stay in control, because it knows if you push through the discomfort, you'll break a pattern. You'll level up. You'll prove you no longer obey fear. And that terrifies the part of you that still wants to live inside the safety zone. So hear this loud and clear. The voice telling you to stop isn't always being kind. Sometimes, it's just trying to keep you small. And if you keep listening, you'll spend your whole life quitting right at the point where you were about to win. He was about to quit. His body ached. His mind was drained. No one recognized his effort. Nothing seemed to move forward. It all felt pointless. And for a few minutes he seriously thought about giving up. But then he stopped and looked back. He remembered the sleepless nights, every no he swallowed, every moment he kept going when no one believed, and it hit him. If he quit now, he wouldn't just be walking away from what he could achieve. He'd be throwing away everything he had already endured, because every sacrifice up to that point only had meaning if he kept going. Quitting now wouldn't bring relief. It would bring waste. It would be like running the entire race, only to stop right before the finish line and walk away. And that's what made him stand up one more time. It wasn't strength. It wasn't motivation. It was the weight of his own story. The awareness that the pain he'd already invested had to mean something, and it did, because he chose to continue when everything told him to stop. And that one choice, on an ordinary day, changed everything. Stop right now and do a simple exercise. Write down every reason you have today to give up. List it all: the pain, the fear, the exhaustion, the setbacks, the doubts. Let it all out. Now, next to that list, write just one reason to keep going. Just one. The one that lives deep inside, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. The one that doesn't scream, but never disappears. Look at both lists and realize this: the reasons to quit will always be louder. They'll sound more logical. They'll seem more convincing. But the reason to continue, it always weighs more, because it carries purpose. And purpose doesn't need to be explained. It only needs to be remembered. When everything in you wants to stop. Go back to that list. Go back to that reason. Because in the end, the obstacles will never stop coming. The reasons to give up will refresh themselves every single day. But what will keep you standing is your ability to look within and move forward for one reason only. One reason strong enough to silence all the others.